denying or getting away from that complete emotion in your voice and the vocals of your songs. Welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield. Sitting next to me is, of course, Tori Amos. And Tori, let's talk about the songs on the new record, some of them. Father Lucifer is one track. It's interesting is when you talk about looking and exploring a dark side of life or dark things in your life, people immediately would always think of a reference to what they think is Satan or satanic, as opposed to just exploring. Where were you going with that in the lyrics when you're talking about the sanity of Lucifer?
Well, first of all, the album is really a novel, and it's the descent that this red-headed girl kind of takes, right, to claim her womanhood. And the whole idea that there are things that have been hidden. And I really had to go and visit Lucifer to get my talisman so that I could go and find the Black Widow, so I could go find these parts. It's funny because if you think about, in truth, Christianity, it never passed down a blueprint of the Mary Magdalene. There was the Virgin, there was the Divine Mother, but where was the woman? The woman, just on her own, passion, compassion, wisdom, claiming that dark side, the light side, the shadow, whole. No, there wasn't that passed down. And so I went back to reclaim some of those sides. And Lucifer, I had a nice little cup of tea with him.
Right. And speaking of the religious side of things, Muhammad, my friend, there's a reference to a female God or female Jesus or female...
The female side of God.
Female side of God, which is kind of like you're asking the lyrics to kind of own up and admit, as opposed to where on God, on the last record, you're talking a bit about. I always felt that it was interesting. You said you need a woman to look after you.
Yeah.
So that you can take care of business correctly. I always thought that reference was really interesting. How would you say, talk about the two different issues on both songs?
Well, I was going after the Christian God in God. Because that's definitely patriarchal. I mean, he is a he in Christianity, yes. And Muhammad, my friend, all the religions, they've got the men as the prophets, no differently than the creative forces, the Da Vinci's, the Mozarts, the Newtons. It's always come through the men, and the women have been the muses, or the mothers, or whatever, or carried the prophets. And I just said, this is what, to me, the Holy Grail was. People were looking for the female part of God, the vessel, the womb. In truth, many scholars believe that. I've been reading quite a bit. And I said, I had a cup of tea with Lucifer. I need to go have a cup of tea now with Muhammad. And we've got to get this female thing happening in balance. We like the guys. Guys are good. But that's not all there is,
Right, absolutely not. Now, we're going to play the new video for Caught Light Sneeze. Now, people have been talking about, or I've read that there's references in there to Trent Reznor, who you worked on with Past the Mission, and there's a line in there about made my own pretty hate machine in the lyric as well. Do you want to elaborate on that at all, or would you rather not?
I think, my work speaks for itself. I let people discover what they want in it.
Right.
I've had some wonderful friends influence me, and they show up in the record.
Yeah, I hear that. I can hear that in the lyrics and the songs. We're going to play that first video off the new album right now, Boys for Pele. It's called Caught Light Sneeze. Here it is on 120 Minutes.